Hello. Let's talk about books. I don't have any books, as you can see, because they're all in a giant pile next to me. I'll show you. That's all my babies. Actually, that's not all my babies. Keep going. That's my tripod. Hello. You're on a box on a stool. Anyway, I am reorganizing my office space, and part of that is moving these shelves, and part of that is taking every book off the shelf. So I thought, let's talk about my books while I put them back on the shelf. But I'm also going to go through them and talk about what's leaving my collection, being put up for adoption to go to a loving home. I like to organize my shelves in alphabetical order. I know that it's really on trend to organize by color, but I like to find a book when I'm looking for it, and I can't visualize what a book looks like. I can visualize the title, potentially the author, but usually just the title. So I'm going to put my books in alphabetical order by author, surname, and then I'm going to go by series, publication, or publication date. This is going to be the final shelf, so the Z's will be down here because I like the alphabet in the order that I learned it. But I've got some stuff that's just like display things and that used to live here on the end shelves, but I want to be, there's actually a shelf behind there, I don't know if you can tell, that's, oh yeah, you can. There's a shelf there too. And so the bottom of this shelf is going to be the display crap, which I will show you when I get to it. But I thought that would mean that I need to stack the shelves from the bottom up. The collection I have is mine and my husband's, and I still think of our books as separate possessions, even though we've been together for nearly 15 years and married for most of that. We were married 10 or 11 years before I even contemplated combining their collections. That's when I decided our relationship was solid enough to do that. And so not all of these books are mine, and I have no intention of reading them. And some of these books I will never read and have no intention of getting rid of, but we'll come to that. Let's just put things on shelves. Oh, I should also say these shelves came from Officeworks. I think they were $130, $150 each, and I have them all over my house. But I've also seen them or super similar to them in Bunnings for probably the same price. Oh, and I've got my essentials as well. I've got light juice, just water, and also hot bean water, which if you've watched any of my videos, you will know it's actually life juice for me. Oh God. On-a-go teacher and on-a-go twins, not mine. Virginia Woolf, A Room of One's Own, never read. Dictionary of Lost Words, loved it. Tooth and Claw, loved it. Anna Karenina, maybe one day. I don't think I'll read it, I'll listen to it. My bookends are from IKEA. Lord of the Rings in a box set. Obviously I've read them, but I haven't read these versions. Dracula, never read it, don't intend to, it's going. One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, I did it in my year 11 or year 12, and so memories. Hyperion trilogy, that's my husband's. Romeo and Juliet screenplay, I think it's got the screenplay and the original play in, and I was obsessed. I was 15 when it came out. I did Othello for my HSC, so I have that version, and a manga version. Here we come to the Brandon Sandersons. Now this is actually, shouldn't be at the end. Let me reorganize them. Things are falling over. Super quickly. Rhythm of War. Oathbringer. Words of Radiance Part 2 and Part 1. The Way of Kings Part 1 and Part 2. Skyward, Starsight, and the third one, Cytonic, is upstairs. My kid is still reading it, I think. The Mistborn trilogy in a box set. I'm missing the second trilogy because it's actually a quadrilogy. What are we saying? 4 books, a quartet. And the final one comes out this year. So I'll get the box set of them when they come out this year. And some standalones. Warbreaker, Elantris, which is his first one, and Arcanum Unbounded. I love that I've got similar covers for all of them. The Icewind Dale trilogy, not mine. The Sparrow by, is it Mary Doria Russell? It's going, I'll never read it. Pat Rothfuss, The Name of the Wind. The Wise Man's Fear. Oh, shiny covers. The Slow Regard of Silent Things. He might release that third book one day. Amazing Adventures of Diet Gown. Now this is super problematic, but this book came out, I want to say 20 years ago. And my friend read it. So, 2008, yeah. So, my friend wrote it. I'm going to hang on to it, but it's super problematic. Golden Compass is going. Alf Preussen, Mrs. Pepperpot's first omnibus, was bought for me. There's an inscription in here, actually. To Elizabeth when she got chickenpox. So I'm keeping that. Terry Pratchett's. We're going backwards, and I've done these in publication order, I think. So, Strata, Nation, The Shepherd's Crown, I Shall Wear Midnight, Making Money. I know those are upside down. These are not mine, and I won't read them. Wintersmith, Third Going Postal, Monstrous Regiment, The Wee Free Men, Night Watch, Thief of Time, The Truth, The Fifth Elephant in hardcover, Carpe Jugulum, The Last Continent, Jingo. Oh, they're starting to look good. Oh, there's so many pratchett's. Hogfather, Feet of Clay, Masquerade, Soul Music, Men-at-Arms, Small Gods, Witches Abroad, Guards, Weird Sisters, Sorcery, Mort, The Light Fantastic, The Colour of Magic. Tamara Pierce. Hang on. She's a middle grade author and she is my fave. So backwards, we've got Tempest and Slaughter, Tortal, A Spy's Guide, Battle Magic, Melting Stones, The Will of the Empress, Magic Step Street, Magic Cold Magic, Shatterglass. I'm dropping these. Circle of Magic. Oh, hang on. Briar's book, Daja's book, Triss's book, Sandra's book. Mastiff Bloodhound. I'm missing one. The first of that trilogy. Can you see my arm shaking? These are so heavy. Trickster's Queen, Trickster's Choice, Lady Knight, Squire, Page, First Test. This is more Tamara Pierce, but can you see how faded those covers are compared to the fronts? Can you see how loved these four are? I distinctly remember getting them in my Scholastic Book Club when I was probably in Year 7. Oh, I didn't tell you what they are. They are Realms of the Gods, The Emperor, Mage, Wolf Speaker, Wild Magic, Lioness Rampant, The Girl Who Rides Like a Man, In the Hand of the Goddess, and Alana the First Adventure. This is all of the Brother Cadfael, including this big omnibus one. All these ones I bought from a library sale, but it was missing one book, so I bought this omnibus that had it in order of Cadfael. One Corpse Too Many, Monk's Hood, St. Peter's Fair, The Leper of St. Giles, The Virgin in the Ice, The Sanctuary Sparrow, The Devil's Novice, Dead Man's Ransom, The Pilgrim of Hate, An Excellent Mystery, The Hermit of Eaton Forest, The Confession of Brother Halem, The Heretic's Apprentice, The Potter's Field, The Holy Thief, Brother Cadfael's Penance. There's one missing. There's like a prequel short stories, which I have in Kindle. Oh, they're heavy. Christopher Paolini, To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. I hate this book. I hate it so much. It's not mine. It has to stay. Fight Club, secondhand copy of 1984, which has been loved and I have loved. And then this trilogy by an Australian author, K.S. Nakakis, The Whisper of Leaves, The Song of the Silver Keys, The Cry of the Marwing, What If and How To by Brandon Monroe, and Watchmen, which is still in this plastic. Not mine. That shelf's done. How good does it look? Oh, I love it. All right, shelf 2. Shall we move around a bit? Berserk Manga. 1 through 5. There's probably a jillion because that's how manga rolls. I don't need bookends because the wall. Oh, I can fit more on. Yes. Winnie the Pooh, which is probably... Oh, there is an inscription. To Elizabeth with love on your 5th birthday from my nan. And then Winnie the Pooh, but Latin. Missed, books based on the video game series. I'm missing the first one from here. It's upstairs. There's 3. There's The first one's the Book of Atris. That one's the Book of Tiana, the Book of Dunny. Cersei by Madeline Miller, which I have read. I read this version and regretted buying a physical version. I don't think it needs to stay in my collection though. That's a maybe. But look at how the cover is reflecting. I like that. I'll keep it. Oh, this is harder on the floor. All of the so far published Game of Thrones. Now, I've read some of them. I hate Game of Thrones. But this whole box set was mispriced for $10, so I bought it. I've just discovered there's a map. Of Westeros and the Free Cities. Now, the reason I hated Game of Thrones, we can talk about this more later, it's like the rampant sexual violence. I couldn't, not in my fun times. But I've got all the books. Someone's just gone in there to have a shower. That's our only functioning shower, so it's going to be noisy, and I apologise, but also that's just how we roll on my channel, is shit quality, and we live with it. The Lies of Locke Lamora. I bought a box set so that all the covers would match. There is a fourth one coming eventually. Hopefully, if Scott Lynch can get his mental health together and live a happy life. But you know, I'm not somebody who's like, there must be like closure on the books. These are fine as they are. It doesn't need a fourth, but I'll read a fourth. So The Lies of Locke Lamora, The Red Seas Under Red Skies, and Republic of Thieves. Highly recommend if you like rogues. There's a shower. Hopefully it's not too loud. This is Eric Van Lustbader, The Cage of Nine Banestones, The Veil of 1,000 Tears, The Ring of the Five Dragons. These are my husband's, who was really put out to learn that this guy stopped writing fantasy and instead started writing fantasy in the form of the Bourne series, like Jason Bourne. If you watched my hour-long video in which I just waxed lyrical about everything I read in 2021, both these books were on there. And I bought them because books that I absolutely love, I need to have real versions of them, not just digital ones. Plus the covers. Oh, so it's going to be, when I have spare money, collecting more Guy Gabriel case. So we've got Lions of Arasan, Children of Earth and Sky. I'm not actually getting rid of as many as I thought I would, which is fine. That's good. It means that I've done a good job of curating already. My knees hurt. Winter of Fire, Cheryl Jordan. This is another one that's beloved from my teenage years, and 90s Australian YA, although I think this is a New Zealand author. Same thing. It's just a thing of its own. It was a thing of beauty. It was just a perfect moment in time, and this is one of them that I'm keeping. This is half of the Wheel of Time. Book 14, Book 10, Book 9, Book 8, Book 7. Brave New World I studied from at HSC, so this is a beloved memory. Hunchback of Notre Dame, going. The Tower of Pooh, I don't think I'll ever read it again, but it was influential to me as a teenager, so it can stay. The most recent and probably the final in Fitz and the Fool, Robin Hobb. Fool's Assassin, Fool's Quest, Assassin's Fate. Not mine. I gave up on Robin Hobb because I just find Fitz so annoying. These were recommended to me by a bookseller when I was in Melbourne one time. I just wanted something complete. I'll talk to you because my husband doesn't like to read unfinished series. So this was complete. This is Emperor of the Eight Islands and Lord of the Darkwood. Leanne Hearn, who is an Australian author. These are based on Japanese samurai culture. He didn't like them and I didn't like them, so they're going. We're halfway there. Mayor of Casterbridge, which I have read and is going. Tracy Harding, 90s, early 2000s Australian fantasy author. She's still writing in this universe, but I grew out of it. But my copy of The Ancient Future at the bottom there, very loved. The Ancient Future, An Echo in Time, Chronicle of the Ages, Masters of Reality, Tablet of Destinies, The Cosmic Logos. They're all part of that world. And then two standalones, which were not great. but the memories, so I'm gonna keep them. I feel like I do want to reread because there's like prequels and then more in the series of Tracy Harding, but can I go back? Is it just going to be problematic and cringe? That's a topic for another day. Let's keep moving. Oh my god, talking of problematic and cringe, very good kind. These are not mine. They are the beloved cringe read of my husband. Here they all are. This is the reissued covers. Wizard's First Rule, Blood of the Fold, Soul of the Fire, Faith of the Fallen, The Pillars of Creation, Naked Empire, Phantom Confessor, and then there was some like offshoot ones. I tried really hard to give a shit, but I think in the end I just ended up convincing my husband that his beloved reads were problematic, which I didn't want to do, but is what happened. No. Ash apparently is super violent and bad, and it's my husband's son, but I was told my daughter is not allowed to pick it up. You know, Game of Norse Mythology, which I probably won't read, but I like the cover. American Gods, which I loved. Pretty sure I stole this off my mum, Dick Francis to the hilt. And Hot Money, which this is one I picked up in a secondhand shop because it was my mum's, or she had borrowed it off someone and had to give it back. And I needed it in my life. I really like it. Grondor the Assassins! Gardens of the Moon, which is part of the Malazan series, but I don't think he's got any other ones, so probably doesn't make much sense out of context. David and Lee Eddings, The Redemption of Althalus. David and Lee Eddings, The Elder Gods. How good's this cover? The Name of the Rose. It's just a vintage classics. But the cover is beautiful. Sherlock Holmes, this is going. Sarah Douglas, Threshold and Beyond the Hanging Wall. I don't know anything about them. The Gruffalo, but in Latin. For the Win, Cory Doctorow. I read the first one of this, was called Little Brother, I think. And I liked it, so I grabbed this one. Haven't touched it. It was in a library clearance sale. Anyway, it's going. Bleak House by Charles Dickens. I tried, and I think I will do better on the Kindle with this, so it's going. Christmas Carol. I have multiple versions of this in the house, and I don't actually like it at all. It's going. These have got the library fantasy sticker on them. The Ill-Made Mute trilogy by Cecilia Dart Thornton. They're going to stay, but I don't think they'll get read. My New Babies. All of the Expanse. This was a Christmas present from me to me. The Hunger Games, which I have on Kindle. And only one of them, like, those are the nice covers. That's not, but also I didn't buy any of these. They were handed down from a family member. So I'll ask Kit if she wants them, and if she doesn't, they're gonna go. Michael Cobley, I've never even heard of this dude, except he lives on my shelf. Book 1 and Book 2 of the Shadow Kings trilogy, so I guess I'll never know how it ends. Elsa's Adventures in Wonderland. This can stay, but I want one with a prettier cover because I'm shallow. Isabel Carmody, Green Monkey Dreams. Yeah, it was that way, wasn't it? Part of, I was saying 90s YA, Australian authors. This one's loved so hard. So it's staying for the memories. It's actually a short story collection. And a beloved version of Berserk Garden. This shelf's full. And now I've got to move around the other side. Do I shelve Lois McMaster Bujold under the B's or the M's? I think she's technically M, and I've got her in the B's because in my head, that's how I think of her. I should put her in the M's. Bugger. Pride and Prejudice, which I have the movie cover, or the TV show cover version. The Vintage Classics cover version with the quote on the back. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. And a manga version. And then Vintage Classics versions of Persuasion and Emma. Persuasion says, if you've read it, you'll know, you pierce my soul. I'm half agony, half hope. I have loved none but you. And the one on Emma says, Dear Papa, you cannot think that I will leave off matchmaking. The Handmaid's Tale, Vintage Classics version. Robert Asprin's Myth Adventures, Volume 1, Volume 2. This is Omnibuses. Omnibuy? Apparently funny. The Mad Scientist's Guide to World Domination. It's a science fiction short story collection which was rehomed to me, and I am going to rehome. All of the Hitchhiker's Guide. which I've read some, and I don't intend to read more because it's not my vibe, but they will stay on the shelf because kids can't pick up things and read them if they don't have them to hand, so mainly it's for my kid. Abercrombie, the First Law trilogy in a box set. We're done. My coffee's basically cold now. It ain't gonna stop me. How beautiful does it look, even if literally all the tarot kinds are just looking at us here. I've got my Expanse, and it's super satisfying to have books on shelves. I love it. Here are other things that live on these shelves because we just want them on display because we're nerds. Legend of the Five Rings Stein, I guess? Drink bottle? I guess it would function as a drink bottle. It's got like holes in the lid. I asked my husband where this was from, and I got a 15-minute anecdote about Legend of the Five Rings tournaments. So it comes from a tournament. I will spare you the rest. Apparently I have an Enchanted Oracle Tarot kit. Have I ever opened this box? I can't even get in. How does this work? Let me in. Today's card is Jewel of the Sea. Steampunk graphics, which has all sorts of artwork such as this, very pretty. Obviously a coffee table book, which is not something that I do. It was a gift from my mummy, so I'm going to keep it obviously, but it's not something that I have out because, to be honest, coffee table books are no good for me. Any surface will just be absorbed by clutter, so I'm not someone who has things out. Garbage coffee table book, neon pink spray. And then in the same vein, but older, oof, the Beatles anthology. Literal chest. What's in there? It's not mine. Are there secrets? Ooh, scout badges. I mean, I have my own collection from when I was a guide. Wonder what that means, Panda Patrol. We should have a guest star and have some stories, except not actually stories about scouting, because if you know anything about scouts, they just like to set shit on fire. Our all Blizzard Entertainment collector's editions box set, back before we knew how much of a bin fire Blizzard Activision is. That's StarCraft 2, Diablo 3, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, and then of course we abandoned Blizzard Activision for many reasons. It is a linking book from Myst, which if you've ever played, you will know. Alright, I'm going to put these on shelves. Thank you for hanging out with me while I organise my shelves. I'm progressively working on this space, which you will see all of in an upcoming video because I'm filming them concurrently, multitasking. If there are specific books that we should talk about, let me know because I'm always keen to talk about books. Or if you have recommendations of things to add to my collection, let me know. Let's talk about books. It's awesome. See you next Tuesday.